You're scared they're going to move away with your child. Maybe they've already mentioned another city that they intend to go to, or maybe there's a new relationship and they want to go spend time with that person. Or perhaps the situation is you just found out they're looking at jobs somewhere and it's far enough away that your current parenting schedule really would not realistically work any longer. Now, your mind is going everywhere. What happens to your time with your child? Are you supposed to drive hours for every exchange? Can the other parent really make that decision without you? These are the questions that you want to answer before the moving truck shows up, before they leave with your child. Because when parents live fairly close to each other, a placement schedule may work without much trouble. When you add a significant distance between two parents' homes, ordinary things obviously become complicated really quickly, and your relationship with your child suffers. School nights matter. Transportation matters. The schedule that worked before is not going to work any longer because it doesn't work in the same way. Wisconsin has a law specific to parents who already have an order. And what it says is that neither parent can move or relocate with the child more than 100 driving miles or more away from the other parent. So this isn't something that I would recommend handling through assumptions or a handshake agreement. And please, please do not wait until everything is already packed before you start trying to understand what your rights are. Be very careful about any consent that you give for the other parent to travel to another state or 100 miles or more away. Look at the existing custody and placement order and understand what the proposed move would actually mean for your relationship with your child. And keep your focus on the child instead of letting the conversation turn into things like, well, you're only doing this because you want to control me. Wanting to protect meaningful time with your child is not the same thing as trying to control your ex. Those are two distinct things, and you can support another parent having opportunities in their life while still being concerned about how a major move affects your ability to parent. At HKK Law Offices, we help Wisconsin parents understand custody and placement and relocation issues before they make decisions that are difficult to undo. If you've heard that the other parent may be moving away with your child, don't build your entire plan around what a friend told you the law says. Find out what actually applies to your situation, because when distance changes, your ability to be present in your child's everyday life can change with it. If you're in a situation where you're married and one parent wants to move away, you have to be very careful. Oftentimes, when one parent wishes to divorce the other, they don't come out right away and say it. They might say something like, hey, I would like to go visit my mom and dad, and they perhaps live in another state, and I'm going to go there, and let's go there together. And then once that parent is there, they say, I'm going to stay for a little bit longer, I just want some distance. And you come back to Wisconsin, and you resume your life, expecting that your spouse and children are going to come back sometime shortly thereafter. And then you learn they don't intend to come back at all. In a situation like that, you need to talk to a lawyer very quickly. You need to understand what your rights are. You have to be leery that the other parent is trying to establish residency rights in another state and effectively file for a divorce action and protection of their time with the child in that state. So make sure that you're talking to an attorney if you're in a situation like this where you suspect that your spouse is planning to relocate to another state or more than 100 miles from you, which would make it difficult for you to handle a case in either another county or another state.